नमस्कार वेलकम टू एज़ुgyAन IAS मु आपण मानकर आउथरे स्वागत करिया चाहूँची आम ये वीडियो सीरीज को जहाँ माध्यम रे आमे यूपीएससी रो पूर्णावसर क्वेश्चन पेपर कवर करछे टॉपिक बाय टॉपिक ईयर बाय ईयर इन अ थीमेटिक मैनर आमे ऑलरेडी पॉलिटी इकोनॉमी ज्योग्राफी एंड एनवायरनमेंट क्वेश्चंस कवर कर सारे इन द प्रीवियस 2 वीडियोस थैंक यू सो मच फॉर योर रेस्पॉन्स टू दोज वीडियोस it motivates me further to help to get inspired and to help you along your journey towards being an OAS, IAS, OPS or IPS officer. The nature of those two videos was that बहुत conceptual sections थिला and hence आपण देखिथिबे 1.5 hours रो video थिला just for say discussion of 25-30 questions in both the videos. So we are done with 55 questions of the 2023 question paper. आओ जे भी जहाँ टॉपिक रहा साइंस टेक हिस्ट्री एंड सम करंट अफेयर्स क्वेश्चन दे आर वेरी फैक्चुअल एंड सो द ड्यूरेशन ऑफ दीज वीडियोज विल नॉट बी दैट मच I'll just breeze past these questions. We'll just breeze past these questions. I'll help you get an idea of where they are asking these questions from. As usual, मु सब बेले आपन गोटे क्वेश्चन रो सोर्स देखाए आपन को कि एटा एठु पचरा हिची एटा एठु पचरा हिची एथरे भी मु सेया करची आज हमें हिस्ट्री डिस्कस करबा नेक्स्ट रे मु साइंस एंड टेक करी कि I'll just finish this up. I'll wrap the 2023 question paper up and then we'll move to the 2022 question paper. So let's get started with the video for today. आज we are going to discuss history. 2023 रे modern history रो एते questions नथिला. It was more of ancient and medieval history. तो if you are thinking कि ancient is difficult, medieval is difficult, मु खाली modern करी पढ़ेबी, it's a wrong notion because आजिकली तांकर main focus is, as a matter of fact, modern and ancient history. So let's get started. In which of the following regions was Dhanyakataka, which flourished as a prominent Buddhist center under the Mahasanghikas located? Dhanyakataka. Before moving with the answer, I would like to tell you a funny story. So, our center last year, जो question टा हमर थिला, our center was Katak. Question hall रे जहाँ साहा कुछ अब जोड़ा नहीं मोर केतेटा भी सांगो थिले सांगो नहले भी चिन्हा पिला थिले मो संगे तांको सेंटर पड़थिला मोर जहार सेठी जଣା नहीं आंसर बहुत लोक या आंसर कलिंग मारिक आसथिले अज्यूमिंग कि हुए तो एंशिएंट टाइम्स रे मे बी कटक वाज नोन एज धन्य कटक मे बी कटक हैज कम फ्रॉम द वर्ड धन्य कटक बट ऑफ कोर्स एडा गोटे गेस थिला एडा समस्त भूल करिके आसले जे जे समस्त कलिंग मारिक आछंती द आंसर टू दिस क्वेश्चन इज आंध्रा एंड इटा स्ट्रेट उठा हेची एनसीईआरटी रो एनसीईआरटी रे गोटे मैप अछि सेटा this map Dhanyakataka is in the Andhra region. It used to be the capital of the Satavahana dynasty, and again, since Satavahana dynasty is a repeated topic, it's a repeatedly asked in many years. After 5 years, after every 6 years, se mane gote question Satavahana upre. After every 2 years, se mane gote question Vijayanagara upre. तो ये सब kingdoms केतेटा बहुत important हे जाए thematically prepare करिबा पे. So answer is Andhra and मुझे कहूली पुराणा वर्षर आपन सोर्स दिखेबी सो सतवाहना रूलर्स उपरे हिस्ट्री 2019 सतवाहना उपरे पचरा हेची 2021 okay, I'll come back to these two questions later. These two questions are related to the next question. But Satavahana is a very often related asked topic in UPSC, and so you are supposed to know कौन capital थिला कौन न थिला. And anyway, यार source जेमती मु आपन देखिली, it's an NCERT. So NCERT तो आपन cover करिवे ही करिवे. On all these places become important. So this was a straight question from the NCERT. Yeah. Stupa. These two questions are related to Stupa. See, Ajanta caves bisare achi, Pandavleni cave bisare achi, Amravati Stupa bisare achi. So your job is to prepare some content on these stupas and caves and all. So directly Stupa jetele apan content prepare karibe, you will get to know कि the next question is basically a very easy question. Again 2006 रे भी अमरावती बुद्धिस्ट स्तूपा विषय Stupa is a very often asked topic in UPSC. So the next question that is coming up, with reference to ancient India, consider the following statements. The concept of stupa is Buddhist in origin. Stupa was generally a repository of relics. Stupa was a votive and commemorative structure in the Buddhist tradition. This statement is wrong. Both the statements are correct. Stupa, the answer is only 2. And I showed you why they have asked stupa, because previously they have also asked about certain particular stupas. So you are supposed to know it. First of all, why the first statement is wrong? Concept of stupa does not have Buddhist origin. The word stupa is mentioned in Vedas, the Rig Veda, the Atharva Veda, the Vajrayanani Samhita and the Taittiriya Samhita. Hence, the statement 1 is not correct. Okay. Rig Veda, I have also mentioned that Rig Veda stupa was, mentioned that it was raised by King Varuna. Pali word thupa is also quite similar to the term stupa. So it is not, it is not of Buddhist origin. Okay. Stupas were often erected to commemorate significant events in the life of Buddha, such as his birth, enlightenment, first sermon, and death. They also served as focus for devotional practice, and they are associated with rituals, commemoration, reflecting sectarian affiliations, etc. So, baki statement jo dita thila, they are absolutely correct. Buddhanga remains are stored in these stupas. Ashoka was famous for opening up the stupa and redistributing Buddha's relics in many places. Both Zara places re nua stupa banechanti by opening up the original stupa of his ashes. Okay. So this statement is wrong and answer is only 2. This is a map of major stupas जोटा कि बार बार से मैंने पचारंती. Amravati, Sasaram, Dhamek, Pipravara, Sanchi, Barhut. एमती जिते आपण एंशिएंट एंड मेडिवल हिस्ट्री को एमती मैप्स को थ्रू कवर करिवे. फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन रे देखेली धन्य कटक आ सेठी जहा जहा सब जगह थिला. सेमती आपण हरप्पन सिविलाइजेशन पढिबे जेते बेले, इंडस वैली सिविलाइजेशन पढिबे जेते बेले, सेथरे भी आपण जगह पाइबे केतरा जगह आज का डेट रे पाकिस्तान रे अछि, केतरा जगह इंडिया रे अछि. एंड दे डू कीप आस्किंग यू दिस क्वेश्चंस कि व्हाट इज द वेस्टर्न मोस्ट Harappan site in India, or what is the westernmost Harappan site in the Indian subcontinent. So map is almost a non-negotiable in while studying history and geography. You have to be comfortable with maps. You have to use techniques like active recall to master map and where mukoti kon jaga ta dikhthili. Tikki practice re it comes naturally to you and it can become easy. With reference to ancient India, Korkai, Pompuhar and Muchiri were well known as. Very easy question actually. They were all ports, and the biggest hint here was Muchiri, जोटा आज का date रे भी it's also known as Muziris. Again, a very simple question. जागा उड़ा टिके देखि दियंतु. This is Musiri. This is Pompuhar. And this is Korkai. These are all ports. आपण भाई मैप सब ये करिके आनछि, कोलेट करिके आनछि. Korkai, Pompuhar, Muchiri were well known ports. The Sangam literature provides valuable insights into the urban centers. Kaveripatnam, also known as Pompuhar. Ajika date re this place Pompuhar is Kaveripatnam. Was the premier Chola port. Korkai was a Pandya port, while Tondi and Muchiri were the important ports in the Chera kingdom. So Sangam is about Pandya, Cheras and the Cholas. Say each kingdom ru gote gote port nele, ताको ancient names amku पचार देले. Very easy question. And again तारो भी गोटे previous year question भी अच्छी, I guess. Yes. Which one of the CDS 2021? CDS is Combined Defence Service. एटा मु last class रे आपन को कहितली that UPSC जो exam conduct करे in prelims, in mains or whatever. So you are supposed to solve those previous year question papers. आज का date रे जेहेतु एते डाइवर्स आगुरु गोटे बही आसुला आगुरु इंटरनेट नथिला तो पुराना वर्ष क्वेश्चन पेपर ऑफ यूपीएससी एग्जाम्स अलोन वाज इनफ बट सिंस आजिका डेट रे information has become democratized it is easily available to everyone studying in someone in a big coaching center like Vajiram in Delhi to a small village in Odisha everyone has access to the same information so UPSC ताको आउरी competitive केमती बनेबो केमती आउरी cream of the crop को केमती pick करेबो if they ask more diverse range of questions and that diversity also spreads to these exams CDS, CAPF, NDA etc. So you are supposed to solve the previous year questions of these exams also. 60 पाखापाखी क्वेश्चन डिस्कशन्स रे आपको 40 टार सोर्स देखि सारे पुराना वर्ष क्वेश्चन पेपर पाइबे इनडायरेक्ट और डायरेक्ट मोस्टली डायरेक्ट सम इनडायरेक्ट सो even if you take 5 months to only prepare previous year questions I would say you are through with the prelims but you have to prepare in diligent detail so 2021 रो question पांड्या पोर्ट आंक भितर कोड एंड एठी देखंतु से सब जाग ऑप्शन पोमपुहर कोरकाई मुछिरी एवरीथिंग ऑल द ऑप्शंस आर देयर एंड एबे हमें देखिले व्हिच ऑफ दिस वाज द पांड्या पोर्ट कोरकाई वाज द पांड्या पोर्ट and so the answer to this question was Korkai. One casual look at this question would have helped you solve that question. Although it was an easy question, it could have been solved independently also. मेरे हिसाब से. Okay, next move the next question then. Already we are through with 3 or 4 questions because that is the nature of these questions. History रे और concepts कौन? It's all facts. जेमती आगु को भी जहाँ questions आसिबो we'll just breeze past them आपन खाली आइडिया रखियार अछि कि पचारुची कोठ which of the following explains the practice of vatta kirutal as mentioned in the Sangam poems last time Sangam ru multiple questions thila basically so these are the options and the answer is a king defeated in a battle committing ritual suicide starving himself to death so kings basically the Sangam the characteristic of Sangam kings was that Sangam literature or the Sangam periods kings were very ethical माने से माने जदि निजो को कहउचंदी मु हेली तम समस्त को ऊपरे मु हेली तम राजा then that was not only पवन it was also meant from inside they were like ठीक अछि जदि मु हारुची मु निजो को punish भी करिवि actually this is a very famous thing from that time so a defeated king ritually starve करिवो निजो को and commit suicide से किछ दिन खाइबा छाड़ दबो until he dies okay that was the thing this was the term vatta kirutal now you might again ask sir एमतिया terms गुडार meaning कोन आमे घोसिबो I would say they are known for asking these questions they are known yes in medieval India the term fanam refers to with reference to history, Kulya Vapa and Drona Vapa denote what? With reference to economic history, Agrahata refers to what? So you can see, tankar major focus thai on these terms. So Sabu period, Sabu kingdoms, Mughals ho, ta purburu apan padebe all the Rajput kingdoms hegala, ta purburu Gupta hegale, ta purburu all these Sangam kings and even Mauryas hegale. Sabu kingdom ro administration part, society part, economy part re apne emtiya kete terms paibe. केतेटा पई जा सब लैंग्वेज सेम थिला समस्त को पई ऑलमोस्ट सेम केतेटा टर्म सेम मिल जिवो किंग को कोन को जाए मिनिस्टर को कोन को जाए मिलिटरी कमांडर इन चीफ को कोन को जाए प्राय सेम पाइबे बट केतेटा पई एमतिया सब टर्म्स थाए जोटा कि एवरी किंगडम के यूनिक थाए तो आई वुड से यू कैन प्रिपेयर दोस लिस्ट ऑफ वर्ड्स ऑलमोस्ट 300 to 400 वर्ड्स बाहरिबो yeah maybe we can trim it down to max 150 200 words not less than that say these sort of word आपन मन रखियो पड़िबो for getting that one question right तार cost benefit ratio I would say is not much जदि आपन से गोटे question exam रे छाडी भी दोचंती it's not major loss but if you are preparing well then you might as well take it one at a time from now on maybe from December onwards till your prelims you can prepare one kingdom in every 20 days and this is how you send it to your long-term memory. It's up to you what can be the strategy. But this is a very factual portion that they ask. They always ask. And जो बही आपन को follow करिया कोई भी the बही is ancient history by Poonam Daya Dalal. That is one book where almost 80% of questions asked every year from ancient and medieval history mate answers se बही रे verbatim मिले मु प्रिपेयर करिक भी जाए एंड सेठी मु जदी पांचटा क्वेश्चन आसे मु तीनटा खंडे सॉल्व करे दीटा करि पारेनी आ किंतु से दीटा ऑब्वियसली इट्स अ थिक बुक सब मन रखिया इज अगेन क्वेश्चनेबल सब मन रखी पारे ना नहीं बट टिके सिलेक्टिव प्रिपरेशन कले सब तो क्वेश्चन ठीक करिया दरकार नहीं आपन कट ऑफ क्लियर करिया लायक प्रिपरेशन दरकार सो सेही बही रे यस एठी अछि सेही बही रे एठी लेखा हेतला Chera king who suffered a wound in the back died of Vatta Kirutal, ritual starvation. 8 लिखा है. Rulers lost their drums in the field. Someone defeated someone. Some king took it upon himself कि नहीं एटा मो भूल and he starved. Vatta Kirutal or ritual starvation. बहिरे लिखा है. आगु को आउरी questions अच्छी where I'll show you verbatim answers, but this is one of them. बहुत बढ़िया बही. One stop preparation for ancient and medieval history. This is a new style of question they have started asking. Say कहू ना आपण को ए सब किंगडम्स भितर बेसिक डिटेल जानिया पे they only want to test are you aware India रो 6th 7th century 7th century 4th century 5th century कोठी कौन किंगडम्स थिले सी इंडिया वाज नॉट इंडिया अंटिल 1947 राइट इवन 1947 रे भी वल्लभ भाई पटेल यूनाइटेड सम 500 प्लस किंगडम्स into one country. So think about what used to be the situation in the 4th 5th 6th 7th century. Etel to India boli gote concept asi bi nothila. So semane last year भी they had asked tap purva varsha they had asked these kingdoms from the decline of Guptas until the rise of Harshavardhana in the earliest 7th century, which of the following kingdoms were holding power in North India? So North India रे को kingdoms ଥିଲେ से kingdoms कौन तांको kingdoms करो who were the contemporary rulers, who were the other kingdoms, what was the timeline, just the basic knowledge they want you to ask. So a major map of India where you can show कि this is this kingdom, this is this kingdom, this is this kingdom, this is this kingdom, or just and the timeline एतिकी रु एतिकी एमतिया 4-5 टा इंडिया रो मैप प्रिपेयर कर देले you will be good to go एमतिया क्वेश्चन सॉल्व हे जिवो ओके एंड मु देखौ छ आपन सो होयशाला गहदलवा काकाटिया यादवा how many of the above dynasties established their kingdoms in the early 8th century AD so 8th century AD रे अंक भितर किए थे the answer is none because all of them were of the 10th to 14th century period. Okay, already I told you see यादव ककटिया गादल होयसाला एथरू यादवस तो अपन ए क्वेश्चन रे पाई भी जिवे so you must if you are solving this question you are preparing Yadavas. And if you are solving this type of question, you have to know कि जदि एया पचारिछि 7th century पचारिछि ताले 8th century पचारि परिबो नॉर्थ इंडिया पचारिछि ताले साउथ इंडिया भी पचारि परिबो आइडिया पाइबे एवरी क्वेश्चन रो अपन आइडिया पाइबे कि यूपीएससी को डायरेक्शन को आपण को जिबा को चाहूछि ओके एडा मो निजो हैंड ड्रॉन मैप मोडे करिके आनछि so all these kingdoms the Gahadalva the Yadavas the Kakatiyas and the Hoysalas 10th to 14th century 12th to 14th century 12th century 12th century everything is 12th century anko bhitru jane bhi there was no one active in the during the 7th century period and ए सब ता capitals Devagiri Kanya Kubja Kashi which is the modern day Varanasi Orangula or modern day Warangal and the Hoysalas Belur or Somnathpuram. Okay, so maps is jodi ye saburu apano linear notes nele nothing will stick but if you convert that whole information to some 4-5 maps like this maybe for each century one map so you'll have 10 maps at the end 7th to 17th century 18th century to Britishers as जाउचंती तापर British becomes more important को kingdom कोठी थिला it does not matter anymore because all the kingdoms lost their power they basically became the stooges of British Empire But until the British came, every century had some or the other important kingdom. So some maps like this will help you sail through in questions like this. Again, a very repeated topic, books rana and the authors rana. 2012 CDS, books, authors. 1997 IAS, books, authors. And 1998 IAS, civil service, books, authors. So very repeatedly asked question, and one of them is the पूरा माने उठेइचंदी डायरेक्ट मिलिंद पनो एई जो क्वेश्चन एबे हमें करेबा सेथरे मिलिंद पनो अछि मिलिंद पनो it's not Nagarjuna, it's Nagasena. Nagarjuna was also a Buddhist scholar. The I think gote important Buddhist site achi Andhra re, Nagarjuna Kondam, that's named after him. But it was Nagasena. He was a Buddhist scholar, and his debate with the king Menander is a very famous debate, codified into the book Milinpana. Menander's adopted name was Milinda, and Milinda's debate with Nagasena is Milinpana. So this option is wrong. Devi Chandraguptam has been written by Vishakadatta. And Vishakadatta is also famous for another book called Mudra Rakshasa, about the Mauryan Empire. Okay. These two were new entries, and as एमती बेले बेले हुए कि गोटे गोटे इनफॉरमेशन आपन के भी सुनी नथिबे जानि नथिबे किंतु सेठी गेस तो करियार अछि मु जहाँ स्टडी करिछि मो हिसाब रे एमती जे नुआ इनफॉरमेशन पूरा आसीबो जहाँ बिषय के सुनी नथिबे को बही रे पढी नथिबे व्हाटएवर बिकॉज़ एवरीथिंग कैन नॉट बी रिटन इनटू टेक्स्ट बुक्स स्कूल टेक्स्ट बुक्स केतरा जिंस एमती भी थिबो जोटा कि टेक्स्ट बुक बाहर अछि बेले बेले यूपीएससी सेही सोर्स को जिवो सेहीठु पचार दबो but what they do is they want to play with your mind. Generally these kind of options are correct, generally in general एमती गोटे माने unimaginable information दे देबो you are like एटा ठीक हेतिबो या भूल केमिति जानिबा एटा तो केबे ना भी सुनिनी मु एते डीप प्रिपेयर करिके आछी. Generally they are correct in general. So two are wrong and two is correct. एथरे अगेन किछि explanation नाही. It's a very factual question, but these two you are supposed to know because they have been asked in the previous year question. Vishakadatta Mudra Rakshasa is a very famous often repeated question. Milind Panato directly pacharichi aguru, and these two questions seiti bosiki apan janibe je jehetu kichi mu janini jehetu mu kebe sunini UPSC must have given it as a correct option. I know this sounds illogical, sethi ete easy nuhe ni je hard operators kari sedi mark kar dava, but the more you get experience the more you will know ki okay केतरा जगह रे एमती लीप ऑफ फेथ दरकार था अदरवाइज कट ऑफ क्लियर करिया इज डिफिकल्ट. ओके मुद्रा राक्षस विशाखा एठी भी अच्छी मुद्रा राक्षस विशाख दत्ता आईएएस हिस्ट्री ऑल दीज बुक्स आ विषय आपण जानियार अछि जेहेतु प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चंस पचार. वेरी इजी क्वेश्चन. Souls are not the only property of animal and plant life, but also of rocks, water, and other natural objects not looked on as living by other religious sects. Has to be. Amo Hinduism re emti kichi jinsa nahi. Has to be one of them. And out tikke jodi deep jibe, jodi apan janchanti why Jains eat some particular type of food only. That's because they think everything has life. Bujhile tankor gote thought achi. It's Jainism. Buddhism रे से जिनसटा नाही तांको जो extreme adherence to non violence to all kinds से पिंपुड़ी को भी they'll be like no we cannot kill them otherwise amu papa lagibo. So this all thing, this whole ideology is from the Jain sect. It's Jainism. A very easy question. एटा समस्त ठीक करथिले. Two very factual and easy questions. First, who among the following rulers of Gujarat surrendered Diu to Portuguese? These are the options. Answer is Bahadur Shah. Bahadur Shah of the Muzaffarid dynasty. Modern history ro जेतले start करे हमें It starts from the arrival of the Portuguese. So de Cunha, Albert de Cunha, and Vasco da Gama, all these people came. So this Seithi, starting रे पढ़ला वेले we come across this section where Bahadur Shah of Gujarat. He also went up against Humayun, by the way. Humayun को तोड़े देइथिले, हरे देइथिले. So this guy Bahadur Shah, he lost the due to Portuguese from the Muzaffarid dynasty. ଆଉ ଜଣେ ବାହାଦୁର शाह ଅଛନ୍ତି, ବାହାଦୁର शाह जफर, ସେ ହଉଛନ୍ତି ମୁଗଲ dynasty ର, but ये ଆସୁଛନ୍ତି around 16th century. If I'm not wrong, it's 1536, 1535. This is the time range. You can just Google it, or you can read from the textbooks also. 1529 to 1536 was his rule. Okay, so 8 time re he is losing due to Portuguese, and Portugal start becoming strong in India. Portuguese becoming strong in India. And this question, again, very repeatedly asked question. Ebe kohutli Satavahana dynasty bisare, semti Vijayanagara dynasty bisare. Vijayanagara empire, the Tulava dynasty. Which of the following rulers of Vijayanagara empire constructed a large dam across Tungabhadra river and a canal cum aqueduct several kilometers long from the river to the capital city? First, let me tell you कि एटा गोटे NCERT रो question, but सेथरे एत्ते डिटेल रे देनी, सेथरे खाली लिखिची तुंगभद्र रिवर, that's it. किए करची किए न करची एटा कोठी भी लिखा है नहीं. But again मु जो बही विषय कहूली, से बही रे देवराया 1 पूनम दहिया दलाल एंशिएंट हिस्ट्री, देवराया 1 सेठी लिखाइची, he constructed a dam across Tungabhadra to bring canals into the city and relieve it of the shortage of water. So the answer to this question is Vijayanagara empire, Devaraya 1. And Devaraya 1 is very famous. He was a scholar, he was a writer, he was a king, he was a patron of culture, art, everything. And in fact, the whole Vijayanagara empire for that matter is very famous. Se jo 13th, 14th, 15th centuries period is known as the golden period of Andhra Pradesh. Tanko under re very repeatedly asked question. Suppose tikke depth re jodi prepare karthante, you could have known this question. And the source for the second question, the same book. In 1530, Nino da Cunha acquired Diu and Bassein from Bahadur Shah of Gujarat. The same book. देखो तो अपन font, मुझे screenshots नहीं किया अच्छी. The font is same. So already out of 6-7 questions, 3 or 4 questions रा answer हमको direct सही गोटी बही रू मिली गला. It's a very माने सबू अच्छी से बही रे basically. असी जेमती update करचुंदी से आवरी नुआ information add करचुंदी which should stop you from going somewhere else. It's literally a one-stop solution for ancient and medieval history. And मुझे कहूली बार से मैंने पचारती कल्याण मंडपस temple construction in the kingdom of Vijayanagara. Portuguese writer Nunes, the women in the Vijayanagara empire were expert in which of the following areas? All. Vijayanagar is a very favorite topic of theirs, and so if you are supposed to prepare that in thoda sa detail, tankar most famous Raja is Devaraya 1, and the answer to question is Devaraya 1. मैंने किसी नौ जानी थिले भी सेठी गोटे लीप ऑफ फेथ नहीं कि देवराया 1 मारी के आस्तान थे एंड सेटा भी ठीक बच जाता था. या एटा पॉलिटी रो भी कहि परिबे, मॉडर्न हिस्ट्री रो भी कहि परिबे. जदि आपण लक्ष्मीकांत रो पढुचंती ताले पॉलिटी, जदि मॉडर्न हिस्ट्री रे एज अ सीक्वेंस पढुचंती, एटा गवर्नर जनरल एक्ट ऑफ 1833 रे was the first time when Governor General of Bengal was designated as Governor General of India, and it was who? William Bentinck. So polity जेतले लक्ष्मीकांत रो पढिबे, it will come as a very random thing कि आपण घोषे देवा को चेष्टा करछि, because आपण ता पछरे हिस्ट्री कोन चलछि in the mean time किछ करनी. एथरे डायरेक्ट 1793 रेगुलेशन एक्ट, पिट्स इंडिया एक्ट 1773, 1781 गोटे लिस्ट दे देछि कि एया होतला. तो सेथरे गोटे फैक्ट हिसाब रे आपण मन रखिले कि हां एटा फर्स्ट वन ठीक अछि. बट हिस्ट्री रे जेते पढ़िबे तो एवरी act purburu what were the background conditions and what necessitated such a step, this you will come across. And even there you will find out that in 1833 British government became very hyper in centralization of power. aguru tike decentralized thila, Bengal, Madras, Bombay tanko jagare they were doing their own stuff. But from 1833 onwards they're like nahi, sabu power should be concentrated in the Governor General of Bengal, who will now be known as Governor General of India. So this act was a final step towards centralization in British India. It made the Governor General this. It deprived the Governor of Bombay and Madras of their legislative powers. And the Governor General of India was given exclusive legislative powers of the entire British territory in India. So this was the period when they became very insecure about their own system of governance, and they said कि नहीं एमती समस्तଙ୍କୁ तांको पाखरे power रहिले हुए तो they can become corrupt, and we are maybe not being fully rewarded for our steps. So let's just bring the whole power to one place, and that was Bengal. Okay. এটা ভি এনসিআরটি রে ଅଛି, but only ଗୋଟିଏ ନା ପାଇବେ. The reference to India history, Alexander Ree, A.H. Longhurst, Robert Sewell, James Burgess and Walter Elliot were associated with what? The answer is archaeological. एनसीईआरटी रो गोटे पेज रे Walter Elliot विषय मेंशन्ड अछि. सेठी मेंशन थिला the Walter Elliot marbles. Elliot marbles. ସେଇଟାକୁ ଯଦି ମାର୍କ କରିଥାନ୍ତେ ତାହେଲେ ଏଇ ଗୋଟିଏ ନାଁରୁ this could have been solved, archaeological excavations. But I have brought some information for you, additional information, more handwritten notes. It was difficult to type so much, so I just shortened it. Alexander Ree, he was a archaeological expert in the southern India. Pallavaram in Chennai, Madras. So ସେଇଠିକାର Pallavaram is famous for prehistoric paintings. माने before the Neolithic and the Chalcolithic era, same time रो जेतेबेले civilization start हेई नथिला. Pallavaram is famous for that. The Pallavaram axe, you'll come across this. Pallavaram axe. Why is axe famous? आमे start of humankind केमती trace केमती करछु तांको tools को देखिकी. आगे बहुत मोटा मोटा and geometrically unsymmetrical tools थिबो. देन धीरे धीरे से टूल्स को से माने शार्प करी चलिबे. देन टेक्नोलॉजी आउट के बढ़िबो, तापरे सिमेट्री आसीबो, तापरे सुंदर देखा जेबा स्टार्ट होबो. सो दैट इज हाउ दे रिकंस्ट्रक्टेड कि एई टाइम रो मनिष पाखरे एया थिला, एई टाइम रो मनिष पाखरे एया थिला, एटसेट्रा एटसेट्रा. सो पल्लवरम एक्स इज वेरी फेमस एंड दिस गाय वाज वन ऑफ द पायनियर्स इन दिस एरिया. A.H. Longhurst, Nagarjuna Konda, एबे जो कहउथली Nagarjuna was a famous Buddhist scholar. तांको नारे there is a this thing Nagarjuna Konda, there is a stupa, and he was involved in the excavation of that stupa. Robert Sewell, he wrote a book, A Forgotten Empire, Vijayanagara. से भी विजयनगर एम्पायर रिलेटेड सब एक्सकावेशन करथिले. एंड वॉल्टर एलियट अमरावती स्तूप रे तांको काम अछि, एंड एठिकार से जो स्तूप को सब से माने तार जहाँ भी सब पाइले एक्सकावेट करिकी ताकू से मद्रास नहीं जाइथिले, गोटे म्यूजियम रे रखथिले, and they were known as Elliot marbles. एटा NCERT class 12 रो बहिरे अछि. I couldn't get the screenshot, but maybe some other context I'll show you. एटा NCERT रे अछि. So this was a solvable question if you had read NCERT. ओ मु आनिचे सॉरी मु आज सकाळे पके दी मु भूल जाइछि. 1854 Walter Elliot, the commissioner of Guntur, visited Amravati and collected several sculptures, took them away. These came to be known as Elliot marbles. This is 12th class. Themes in Indian history. एक गोटिए ना अच्छी Walter Elliot. And सेटिकी दरकार राइट. एक यूपीएससी जदि चाहि थांदा ओनली अलेक्जेंडर रिया देकी छाड़ देई थांदा. बट यूपीएससी भी जानछि कि सब विषय पढ़े नथिबे. तमे जदि आंगो भितर जनक विषय भी जानिछ, आमु कुह से का संगे एसोसिएटेड थिला. वॉल्टर एलियट विषय रे आपण एनसीईआरटी रु पाई थांते. archaeological excavations. Again, a typical UPSC question. Site well known for Besnagar, Bhoja, Sithanavasal. Okay, this is wrong. This is a Vaishnavite cave, not a Shivite cave. Vishnu. Bhaja is a Buddhist cave shrine. Sithanavasal is Jain cave shrine. The answer is only 2. Maps anchi, dekho che. So, these are the ancient cave sites. Bhaja. Sithanavasal. Sithanavasal caves in Tamil Nadu. Bhaja caves in Maharashtra. And Besnagar in Madhya Pradesh. तीनटा अगर मु सेल्फ स्टडी history.com गोटे साइट अच्छी सेठू मु मैप्स गुडा पाइछि तीनटा जगह अच्छी आपण चाहिले स्क्रीनशॉट नियंतु या फिर जाइए जस्ट सर्च गूगल इट यू विल गेट दिस मैप्स एंड अगेन मैप्स आर इंपॉर्टेंट ओके this is the explanation. Pause and read. Very factual. Besnagar, also known as Vidisha in Madhya Pradesh, dedicated to God Vishnu. Pair 2 is correct. Bhaja caves, rock cut caves belonging to the Hinayana Buddhism sect. And pair 3 is correct. Sithanavasal cave, Pudukkottai district of Tamil Nadu, Jainism. Okay. I highlight bhi kar dechi just for you to go through it. Okay, a good modern history question achi. 7th August is declared as the National Handloom Day. This was done in 2015 after the current government came into power. Modi ji came into power. 2015. And what was the relevance? Now it was in 1905 on this day that Swadeshi movement was launched in Calcutta Town Hall. Kahinki asthila Swadeshi movement? Partition of Bengal. Taku protest kariya pai. The answer is this explains this. Assertion reasoning question where one statement is either explaining it or one of the statements is factually incorrect or there is no link between the statements. So you have to find out which of these three is the possibility and accordingly the option is the answer. Okay. Arthepedia is a very reputed site. Say to answer anchi. Arthepedia.com government website. Seiti likhai National Handloom Day 7th August 2015. Swadeshi movement which was launched on this day 1905 in the Calcutta Town Hall to protest against the partition of Bengal. Okay, easy question, very easy question. So that completes the discussion of history questions. Fat sarla sabu questions discussion. Ebe roila science tech केतेटा current affairs question and केतेटा miscellaneous question जोटा कि हुए तो मु गोटे question जेमती environment रे miss कर देछि or some current affairs question which do not demand very elaborate discussions but obviously I have to tell them because they have been asked. Okay, so let's move to some those kind of questions. We'll just breeze past Sorlani almost video. Current affairs. Last time भी मु आपनो देखैतली Congo विषय से माने दी जगह रे पचार थिले Democratic Republic of Congo गोटे question थिला I think cobalt विषय रे पचार थिला and Congo was the answer and another question was which of the following is a part of the Congo Valley. So Cameroon, Nigeria, एमती सब countries थिले and you have to find out which was not a part. Same thing से again Africa रू आहुरी दीटा question. तांको इथर Africa बहुत पसंद आस जाइछि basically for some reason. Which of the following countries has been suffering from decades of civil strife and food shortages and was in news recently? Current affairs question for very severe famine. Without even knowing anything about it, you know it's Somalia. Because Somalia is in news for this only, always. One is their pirates, JK obviously attack ships for money, for food, for arms, for everything. And kainki, tankara piracy kainki kariyaku paduchi? Because tank desar resources nahi. Because city bhukmari bahut zyada. Because city always famines or some sort of the or other civil strife. Okay, this Somalia is the answer. but you keep taking lessons कि जदि ए थर ऑप्शंस रे एंगोला कोस्टारिका इक्वेडर अछि हुए तो आर वर्ष तांको मैप रिलेटेड आउ गोटे क्वेश्चन पचार दबो सो ए ऑप्शंस को प्लीज आपण इग्नोर करिवेनी एवरी क्वेश्चन रो एवरी ऑप्शन इज इंपोर्टेंट फॉर यू टू प्रिपेयर फॉर योर नेक्स्ट अटेम्प्ट और योर नेक्स्ट टू नेक्स्ट अटेम्प्ट ओके In recent years, Chad, Guinea, Mali, and Sudan caught the international attention for which one of the following reasons common to all of them? The answer is successful coups. एठी गवर्नमेंट आर वेरी इनस्टेबल एंड आर्मी सब बेले सेठी जाइकी माने सेठी निजर पाकिस्तान बेलिया दे ऑलवेज वांट टू असर्ट देयर अथॉरिटी इट वाज अगेन अ करंट अफेयर्स क्वेश्चन सक्सेसफुल coups and it what becomes important for you these countries and Africa re where are they located the maps very important this was a question that somehow मोडू छाड़ी जाइथिला because एटा बहुत एंड रे थिला एनवायरनमेंट रो जो थीम थिला 10 to 15 क्वेश्चंस इन अ क्लस्टर एटा अलगा से मैंने पचार थिले 89th और दी 79th क्वेश्चन so I had missed it out I'm sorry I'll just read it out for you okay consider the following statements in India the biodiversity management committees are key to the realization of objectives of the Nagoya protocol. The biodiversity management committees have important functions in determining access and benefit sharing, including the power to levy collection fees on the access of biological resources within its jurisdiction. Both these statements are correct. Very factual. आपको first तो जानियार अच्छी Nagoya protocol is related to what? It is related to CBD, UNCBD, Convention on Biodiversity. एटा भी जानते हुए UNCCD and एटा भी जानते हुए UNFCCC Earth Summit 1992 Rio de Janeiro ये कितना लैंडमार्क्स दैट यू ऑल हैव टू नो इन एनवायरनमेंट ये सब स्टार्ट हुए ये आश्चर्य एंड Nagoya protocol has come from UNCBD. Okay, first, what are biodiversity management committees? Biological Diversity Act 2022. So, it's a statutory body. So, next year, it can be a simple statement question. The biodiversity management committees are statutory bodies. Statement number 1. Statement number 2, the Biological Diversity Act 2002 was amended to include these things or something like that. Okay, so you have to know that they are statutory bodies. Every local body in the state shall constitute a biodiversity management committee. These are that's within its area for the purpose. These are the purpose: promoting conservation, sustainable use and documentation of biological diversity, preservation of habitats, chronicling of knowledge relating to biological diversity and conservation. पचार थिला कौन Nagoya protocol विषय पचार थिला तो now your job is to connect these the purpose with what the purpose of the Nagoya protocol is. The Nagoya protocol on access to genetic resources and fair and equitable sharing of benefits arising from utilization to the Convention of Biological Diversity. This is the technical name. We only call it Nagoya Protocol. Nagoya is a place in Japan. 80 se meeting ta hei thila. And hence it's known as Nagoya Protocol. Ta kamo kono aims to share the benefits that arise from the utilization of genetic resources fairly. Ethi se ai hochi na sustainable use and documentation of biological diversity. Use mane on utilization. Chronicling of knowledge related to biological diversity, everything, it's all interconnected. Main function of BMC, the Biodiversity Management Committee, hochi People's Biodiversity Register, जो थे कि सबू list रहिबो of what is important, what is not. These are the technical details. The crux of the matter is कि for doing these kind of activities, the BMC can levy some fees from the people. कि देखो एटा तमर भल पाई आमे करूछु and hence we have the law, we have the power backed by law to collect some fees. It is a part of the act. Okay. The BMC may levy charges by way of collection fees. May levy charges. Okay. Optional, kintu jodi darkar padla, they can. So both the statements are correct. The self-help group program, SHG program. Self-help group, by the way, is an important topic of GS2 mains also. Was originally initiated by the State Bank of India by providing microcredit to the financially deprived. Wrong. Initiated by NABARD, not the State Bank. Even before that, both famous Bangladesh re Grameen Bank এইଠୁ ଏ ଆଇଡ଼ିଆଟା ଆସିଲା and यार जो आइडिया आनछंती तांको गोटे नोबेल प्राइज भी मिलिछि फॉर दिस वेरी आइडिया, फॉर द आइडिया ऑफ माइक्रोफाइनान्स. तांको ना जानछंती कमेंट सेक्शन रे कहबे ना, लेखि देबी, कहि दउछि. मोहम्मद यूनुस, नोबेल प्राइज विनर, ग्रामीण बैंक, बांग्लादेश 1970s. से स्टार्ट करथिले ए कांसेप्ट सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुप्स कि ठीक अछि बैंक्स, बड़ बैंक्स तुमको लोन देबेनी, तो तमें निज निज भितर सांग हो जाओ, एज अ ग्रुप निज को रिप्रेजेंट करो, रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी नियो कि ये लोन फेरेबो, यार जिम्मा तम उपरे तम उपरे तम उपरे तम उपरे, ए भरोसा बेसिस रे आमे तुमको लोन, आमे लोन्स पे ये करबा. And this idea became so famous, it came into India. NABARD brought it, National Agricultural Bank and Rural Development. Okay, National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. So same ये आणथिले, NABARD आणथिले. Yeah, statement 1 is incorrect. SHG movement 1993, NABARD began. Okay, statement 2 कौन थिला, sorry हमें पढ़ी नहीं. Statement 2. In SHG, all members of a group take responsibility for a loan that an individual member takes. Correct? The regional rural banks and the scheduled commercial banks support SHGs. Now, these statements, it's like, again, freebies. You just have to think ऐसा possible है क्या? You will know कि हाँ ऐसा possible है. Okay. मतलब without knowing anything. मैं आपनों को the whole purpose of me again and again telling you things is कि जदि एग्जाम हॉल रे क्वेश्चन रो आपन नॉलेज नाही तथापि केमती आंसर टा बाहर करिया अछि. इट्स एन आर्ट दैट यू हैव टू डेवलप इन ऑर्डर टू क्वालिफाई प्रीलिम्स. इट्स नॉन नेगोशिएबल. सब क्वेश्चंस आपन को आसीबनी. लास्ट क्लास रे भी कहितली फर्स्ट राउंड रे हार्डली 30-35 क्वेश्चंस, सेथरे भी 4टा कि 5टा खंडे भूल हबो ही हबो. मैक्स टू मैक्स 2टा भूल हबो कि 3टा भूल हबो, किंतु हबो ही हबो. And that is not enough for clearing cutoff. Cutoff clear करिया पाए you have to take leap of faith. एटा ठीक है थाई पारे, एटा भूल है थाई पारे. So these sound possible and hence they are correct. It's as simple as that. Okay. Banks provide loan to the self-help group as a whole. Collective responsibility to repay that loan. Financial inclusion fund scheme. Obviously, SHG is all about financial inclusion. आमे तांको केमती formal banking system रे आनिबा, because तांकर informal lending जोगु they are facing problems. So a fund scheme रे who will be the stakeholders? The scheduled commercial banks will be the stakeholders. The regional rural banks will be the stakeholders. So this generic statement that the regional rural banks and scheduled commercial banks support SCGs, ये direct या indirect किछि पचारनी. Indirectly, obviously they are supporting SCGs. Okay, so the answer is only 2. And we are done with 72 or 73 questions. Okay, आउ जहाँ questions रहिला सेटा science and tech रो question, टिके technical but again very factual. I'll be back with it in not more than 3 or 4 days. Please आपण एमती निज सपोर्ट देखि चलंतु. आउ टिके कमेंट करिकि बतांतु कोन भूल होची मोर, कोन ठीक लागुची, कोन को एस्पेक्ट आपण को भल लागुची, एटा भी टिके बतांतु. एटा मଣିଷ को निज तारीफ सुनले टिके मोटिवेशन तो मिले ही. And एमती सपोर्ट करी चलंतु. I'll be back with science questions in a few days, and then we'll move on to 2022 question paper, or we can move to the OPSC question paper also, the last year's prelims OPSC question paper. You can tell me in the comment section what would be your preference, because prelims madi aslani athara, मे सरीजिव एई गोटे दी दिन रे एंड जून जुलाई अगस्त सेप्टेम्बर अक्टोबर आपण भाई मैक्स टू मैक्स 4 मंथ्स अच्छी प्रीलिम्स पे सो धीरे धीरे एथरो प्रीलिम्स को आपण स्विच करियार अच्छी anything you feel you convey to us in the comment section and I'll make sure I come back with whatever you ask me. Until then, please like, please subscribe. Thank you.